Okay, so I really just wanted to come on here and make this video. I had like the urge to make the video, so that's what I'm doing right now. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is the fact that we do not have love. And I think that a lot of our problems stems from the lack of love that we have for each other, the lack of love and empathy that we have for people. We don't have love, we don't have caring and sympathy, and we just are all really selfish and stuck inside our own world. And that is generally why the world is like how it is today, because we don't have love. So I guess we'll start with something I want to bring up, the show BoJack Horseman. I don't think that, well, I'm not going to say anybody, but majority of the people on that show, I don't think are bad because, no, I don't think they're just bad people. I think they just do bad things because of the way they were brought up and the way, in the worlds they get caught up in and such. So, for example, being the main character, BoJack, he had a very emotional, abusive mother and father too. And all he wanted to do was feel love. I mean, the one thing that most kids want is to feel loved and be accepted, especially by their parents. In which I also wanted to add that a lot of things that qualities we tend to have as a child and wants that we have as a child, we often get told that we do not need that, and that we get told that you have to want other things, you want to do this, that, and the third. You don't need to care about these things, when really these are just human nature things that we want and that we should be able to have because we're humans. He was not. And he basically essentially raised himself, in which he also, while raising himself, he also internalized a lot of the things that he was told as a child and the things and people he was around that influenced him and how he thinks. And he got caught up in a world, Hollywood, where it was just bad. And I can't, like, the show is like 6 seasons long. Like, I'm not gonna try to sit here and analyze that whole thing, but I would say essentially BoJack, well, outside of BoJack, I think nobody is born with hate and judgment for different things, and like the negative things that they do and stuff, and what is deemed acceptable is what is not deemed, what is deemed unacceptable. We're not born with that. When we're born, we're just born into the world that we are brought into by our parents and who we surround ourselves with. So if you're in a world of bad people, you might just grow up and do bad things. But also, if you also are in a bad world, you can also grow up and do good things. So it all depends on your perception of everything. So, again, I didn't write a script, and when I talk, I could tend to lose track a little bit. But I'm a person who doesn't like to judge people unless they're like bad people. But I don't judge just the things people like. I don't judge the way people do. Even if people are like wrong, there's always a reason why somebody does something. So like people, well, most of the time, people don't just do things to do it. People don't just do things to be evil unless somehow they're just crazy or something. But oh, that's threat on me. But I don't think people. I don't think people are born evil, and I certainly was not born evil. I mean, I'm a person who I give people grace. I give people grace. And when I say I give people grace, I don't mean I surround myself with bad people and like understand them now. What I'm saying is I'm not gonna really truly hate somebody if they have wronged me, because part of me wants to understand why they did what they did or why they reacted that way. And no, I'm not saying it was right. And I'm not saying I want to surround myself with that. I'm saying I want to understand them, and I'm not going to judge them. I mean, I think everybody has the right, or has whatever, to be forgiven. I think everybody should have the chance to be forgiven, because we are humans. At the end of the day, we are imperfect. We all make mistakes, and that we need to be forgiving of ourselves and other people around us. So I do believe in second chances, but you have to also be responsible with that, because also there is a lot of bad in this world. There is a lot of hate and negativity in this world. So you have to be careful of who you choose to allow in your life, and who you choose to be around with, and what you want to let into your life. You still have to be cautious of that. I'm not saying don't let anybody abuse your love, abuse your kindness, but also I want you to also be forgiving. See, you can still forgive people from a distance. You can still understand people from a distance. And yes, this is a worldly issue. So something like, when an area that we lack love in, we lack love in humanity. I mean, today, I'm just gonna speak from America's point of view, because I'm in America. But in America, and like many other regions and countries in this world and places in this world, it's really hard to just live. I mean, the cost of everything is just going up and going up and going up. But why is it going up? Essentially, it doesn't necessarily. A lot of the systems that we have in place, I feel like if we all worked together and acknowledged that this world, the way we're running this world, is absolutely effed all the way up, we could really create change. But people have ultimately just accepted that this is the way the world is. This is the way we've accepted. This is the way the world is, and that is unacceptable. Like, we don't have love for anybody. We're all to ourselves, and we're not helping each other. I mean, we can't even help ourselves at this point. It's just horrible. I think that another way that we don't have love is when it comes to our friendships and relationships. Now, I'm going to emphasize this again. I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I also have my shortcomings. Let me just emphasize that before I say anything. But in my relationships with people, I find that the people I know, well, I'm in New York, people are so judgy, and people don't want to put an effort into their friendships. But when it comes to friendships and building relationships with people, there's two sides. And if one person is trying to pick someone up, it's a drag. Essentially, it's a drag. If one person is always nurturing that relationship by themselves, it's a drag. Like pulling dead weight. We have to help each other, build each other up in our relationships and our friendships, because love. Why can't we just have love? And it's also really hard to have love in this world. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's really hard to have love in this world, especially when there's so much evil, there's so much bad, there's so much going on, and everybody's stressed about everything, because people, government keep making life harder and harder to live. Every single day, it's getting harder and harder to live. I do think I am going to try to write more about this, because I truly do think the root of a lot of problems is love and lacking of empathy and caring. Like, you know how in elementary school, like, teachers like tell you, say, like, how about you put yourself in that person's shoes, or in the main character's shoes? Like, how would you feel if that happened to you? I think we are all desensitized and like numbed by everything, and we're not we just don't see the bad things happening to people. We don't see them as human or whatever. I don't know. It's just so, it's really strange to me. Like, even something like racism, that's still something that's going on today, where people may not see the, well, let me just say people of color, people may not see people of color as humans and as people, and people with emotions and thoughts and cares and worries. Like, they don't see them or see us as people and human, and they just don't have love for them. It's just all about love. If we all had love, so everybody in this world, everybody in this world has something that they love and care about, whether it's one thing, whether it's multiple things, an infinity amount of things. We all have something that we love and cherish. Why can't we have that for everything? And before, let me just clarify, when I say everything, I mean everything good. If you're doing evil shit and shit like that now, then you can fix that shit. But all like good things and things that are not like harming anybody and things that make other people happy, why are we judging them? Why are we making fun of them? Why is that a problem for you? Why can't we just have love and be happy that it makes them happy? And honestly, I think that love is what makes the world go around, what makes the world thrive. Something such as this person that I know, that I care for, I love them, but they're very much to themselves, very selfish. They don't have a lot of emotional intelligence, but just because a lot of their downfalls and a lot of their shortcomings, I'm not gonna let that affect me. But I'm not gonna hate them. I'm not gonna like reciprocate that negativity back to them. I'm not gonna do any of that. But instead, since I understand them, it makes me truly love them, and just understanding of their shortcomings, and I can understand, why they do X, Y, Z, and why they do 1, 2, 3, and everything like that. Like, so even though they do have a lot of shortcomings, I'm still not gonna let it affect me. I'm not gonna hate and like I'm not gonna think and speak negativity on them. That's just who they are, and they are struggling. They are struggling. They're really struggling, and they do need help, and I can try to help. I can only do so much. Obviously, I'm only one person. I can only do so much, but I'm not gonna sit here and speak negatively about them when I know, or maybe like 50% of their, 40%, only know 40% of their upbringing, and why are they the way that they are. I'm not. Another thing too is why we lack love is because we are obviously influenced by our upbringings and how we grow up. So obviously, if you're born into a racist family, there's a really high chance you're gonna be racist, but there's also a chance to change that. There's a chance you can have either you have it like an epiphany, or you grow somewhere and travel, you go somewhere and you figure out like, why the fuck are people being racist? Like, I really don't understand. Why are we in this world suffering when we can just all agree that this system fucking sucks and create something else better? But also, that's where selfishness comes in, and could be everybody's gonna have a different opinion. Everybody's gonna have a different opinion. Everybody's gonna want to do one thing when another person's gonna do another thing. So that's another thing. We also have a lot of selfishness in this world. And greed, gluttony, greed, selfishness. It's really bad. It's really bad. So I really don't know how that's gonna work, but I feel like, well, I know If everybody could put themselves in other people's shoes, could experience other people's experiences in their lives, and see how one person could like this, and you may find it strange, but why? You can see why person might like it even if you don't like it. Because there are things that I don't like, but I'm not going to sit here and hate on people that do like it because they like it. If it makes them happy, it makes them happy. Why should I have a problem with that? The only reason I would have a problem with it is if it's actually something bad and bringing negativity to the world. If it's not, then why? It has there's no use of me in bringing out negativity towards that. Yeah, so that's generally what I wanted to say, is that I want to try to help people have more love and empathy for people in this world. I want people to be forgiving of each other. I want people to help each other and be selfless, not selfish, selfless. I want people to do more of that, and obviously I still have to work on that because people are ever evolving and ever growing, and there is no end age to grow. There's no stopping point to grow. It's never ending. You can always learn things. You can always see other people's lives and their experiences and understanding them and learning different things and why certain things go the way they do and why certain things don't go the way that they do. You know? And I'm just going to wrap this video around that. And I'm going to also, well, I guess I didn't do an intro, so I'll do an outro. My name is Jlin, and I am an author and an entrepreneur and an artist. Let's just say entrepreneur to sum it all up. But currently, well, I've written a book. I've edited the book. I need to start publishing the book and finalizing it and everything, which I will plan to start doing. And I've written 2 books. That book is not edited. I also cannot say edited, so please don't make fun of me, please. And I'm also writing another book that is still being written. So I'm not going to edit it now because it's not finished. But the second one is finished. It's not edited. Don't make fun of me. It's not edited. But, yes. But, yeah, and all I want to do is share love. I want people to be more understanding of people. I want people to be understanding. I don't want you to shame people for the things they do. Shame doesn't do anything good for people. Shame is not doing anything good for people. You need to be able to bring people into the right direction and bring them into the light and bring them to the bright side and bring them to where they need to be. Shame is not doing anything but putting them in a box and letting them stay there. Just letting them stay there. That's all that it's doing, and it's not fixing anything. It's not helping anybody. It's actually destroying the world. So we just need to be understanding and have love and be selfless and all the other things that I said in this video, because we are so selfish, so within ourselves, and we need to just have love for each other.